Hello everybody, I'm Kru Wolf. I'm here at WMB with the 170-pound #1 ranked IKF kickboxer in the state of Florida, Mike Colon. How are you, Mike?
I'm fine, thank you for asking.
Good to sit down with you.
Always a pleasure.
First of all, how do you feel about being ranked #1?
I'm greatly honored, particularly because of the people who gave me that distinction, which is you. Kru Wolf is somebody I respect, somebody who's well respected in the community of Muay Thai, particularly in Florida, and such a knowledgeable and experienced person. It's hard to argue with.
Wow, well, thank you very much for the kind words. I really appreciate that. I've had a chance to spar with you myself, and you're dangerous, man. I know. So I'm really impressed with what you've done. I wanted to ask you, do you remember your first fight?
Yes.
How did your first fight go, and what did you learn from it, and would you have done anything different?
My first PKB fight was last year. I have an extensive karate background, full contact karate. This was my first competition in well over a decade. Obviously it was the PKB rules with the low kick. I had started martial arts when I was 14 years old, and I studied until I was 22 years old, and then there was a 10-year gap in between. So I started to train martial arts again last year, and probably was a little overzealous about taking and doing that competition. So what I would change is I would have been a little more prepared for it. Thankfully enough, I did have experience, and it kind of allowed me to salvage a win in that situation against a very talented, young, strong, and fast fighter at the time, but the experience, lack of experience on his part kind of did him in. So again, I was able to scratch out a W there. However, I would have liked to, in retrospect, had a better performance.
Okay. A favorite professional kickboxer or Thai boxer?
Professional? Yeah, I'm a big sports fan in general, and as a sports fan, I always pay homage to the founders of all the sports and the legends. And to me, I don't have a single favorite, but I'm always in awe, and I pay great homage to all that came before me. The legends like Benny Urquidez and Bill Superfoot Wallace. And now that I'm doing Muay Thai and I'm learning of all the great fighters, and of course I had the privilege to meet Arjan Chai earlier this month, and just what a wonderful experience as I progress as a martial artist.
Oh, that's amazing. You feel that makes you #1 in the division?
The fact that you and promoter Jay Desmond deemed me #1. Again, so much respect to Kru Wolf, and in his eyes, if he deems me #1, and Jay Desmond, who's the referee and promoter to basically all the shows in South Florida, Jay Desmond's in there watching all the fighters from a front row standpoint. So if you two deem it, then again, it's hard to argue.
Wow, that's a very humble attitude you have, and I'm really impressed. Do you have any future plans in this sport?
Any contributions I can make to the sport of Muay Thai, of kickboxing, particularly in South Florida, anything I can contribute will make this long journey of mine a success.
I have one final question for you, and it might be a tough one. It's a little bit, it's not about fighting, but I wanted to know, outside of fighting, on the human side, what do you feel is your greatest accomplishment outside of fighting?
That is a hard one.
Yeah.
Many people, particularly in high school, as a teenagers, and through college and in early adulthood, kind of their main objective is to find out who they are and what they want to do in their life. I was fortunate enough as a child, as maybe a 12-year-old pre-teenager, I knew what I wanted to do in life, and I knew that I wanted to help. Obviously, through the years, I had to find the route and the direction as to how I was going to help people. And now that I'm in my early 30s, I think I've accomplished that. I'm not necessarily, doing missions in Africa with the Peace Corps, things like that. But anybody who's close to me, friends, family, people who I come across in my career, will tell you that I'm the go-to guy when anybody ever needs it, and it brings me great pleasure to be that person. And I think that at an early young age, I've accomplished my goal of who I wanted to be, and hopefully 20 years from now I can say, well, I brought it to this level, to a certain level.
Wow, that's amazing. You certainly have a heart of gold. You're an incredible fighter. There are a lot of things people can learn from your perseverance and just from your character. It's an absolute honor to have interviewed you. Thank you very much, Mike. It was an absolute pleasure.
Likewise.
Thank you,
Always.
sir. Again, I'm Kru Wolf here with Florida Thai Boxing, here with the #1 ranked 170-pound IKF Kickboxing State of Florida, Mike Colon. Take care, guys, and have a good evening.